the best scanners in the market, or at least in my opinion anyways. I use Trade Ideas Pro. You can see the whole layout that I have right now for my market hour scanners. I'll break down each one of these scanners and what they're doing, but really they do the same thing. They identify the value in the market. And then after they identify the value in the market so fast, I then pull it up on my charts and start to break down whether or not it fits my strategy for possible trades. MLGO was a beautiful find. We found this one around $1 on our scanners. I think it was around $1.20, something like that yesterday in the aftermarket. Today it hit over $11, which is incredible. If I zoom out here and you see the high, we're hitting $11.71. The high, $11.69, our next pivot. What a beautiful move on MLGO today. And we found this one on our scanners. And the scanners are going to be how I find these stocks to trade every single day. I use them for the post-market, for the pre-market, and during the regular market session. And these are floating windows built through Trade Ideas. I have Trade Ideas Pro. I use it to identify value. If you're looking for a discount code, I do get a kickback, of course. But if you're looking for a discount code, there's one down in the description. It saves you some money. I get a kickback. Awesome. Great. Win-win for everyone. But if you're getting Trade Ideas Pro, guys, this is the premier scanners, in my opinion. The reason for it is it allows us to really find the value so fast. And being a low float momentum day trader, for me, that is so important, because if I can get to the news or the moves on the chart so fast, then I can really start to mitigate risk and see if it fits my strategy. If I can do that, then I can start to really adjust the size if I want to go heavy, or if I want to go light, or if I want to do a lotto, or whatever it may be. So to get to that end point of finally pulling the trigger in trading, you have to be fast in day trading, right? Especially low float momentum. So having these scanners is going to identify the value so quickly for me that it then allows me to start breaking down the chart, making decisions fast. And that's going to be an invaluable tool. So we have on the left-hand side here, we have the low float momentum watch. That's going to be stocks typically under 25 million share float. I consider anything under 25 million share float to be considered low float momentum if it's getting volume. And of course, we want to see bullish momentum if you're a long trader, and bearish momentum if you are a short trader. For me, I'm a little bit more on, or more so on the long side. So I'm looking for that bullish momentum, and that's what this scanner is built for, looking to find that bullish momentum in the market. You'll see the time, the symbol, the price, and the float size, which is very important to me, because that float size is what I'm looking at. Now, everything built into that scanner is going to be a low float stock, sure. But, seeing that information, seeing that some floats are a little bit lower than others, can give me a little bit more heads up of how quick this price action may move. And that's something that I want to be aware of. Now, looking to the right of that, we've got the micro float squeeze watch. Micro float squeeze watch is going to be basically that. Any stock under 1 million share float, I consider to be a micro float. A micro float is going to be basically it doesn't have a lot of shares available for trading. It's going to be a stock that I look at as higher risk, and therefore I want to mitigate that risk by taking a smaller size, right? So if I'm trading off of the scanner, basically, in other words, I'm trading smaller size, as it's going to be a little bit higher risk. So knowing that higher risk, having that scanner built and identifying the value, but also identifying that it is higher risk immediately like that, is going to give me, again, a quicker, or basically more time, or a quicker time to my endpoint in decision making. So we also have the float size in a magenta color, again, just to stand out, just to give another heads up. Hey, this one is a micro float. Again, you want to be careful if trading this one. It's something that may merit a smaller size rather than full size. Looking to the right of that, we have the stocks under $1, cheap stocks under $1. This one, is not something that I love to trade off of myself. Typically, I like to trade stocks over $1. However, I do like to be alerted before they get to that dollar mark, again, so I can be prepared. So if I'm going to trade a stock that reaches $1, starts to gap over like MLGO did, I want to be prepared before it gets to $1. That way I'm prepared. I have the chart marked up. I've got the levels marked up. I've got everything ready, alert set, and all I need is volume and price action, right? So just to stay ahead of the game, I'm using these indicators. I'm using these strategies that are built into these filter windows or these scanner windows to then help identify where the value is in the market, and then again switching over to the chart to mitigate risk. To the right of that, large float momentum. You can see it's in red. You can see the price on the cheap stocks is in red as well. Red flag, red, right, just kind of stands out, helps me identify that. Same thing with the large float momentum. These are going to be stocks over 25 million share float. So I look at that as a minor red flag, basically another red flag, because I like to trade low float momentum. So anything under 25 million. I will trade up to 150 million share float if I'm trading basically a low float stock. I do consider that still to be low float. Just it's a little bit larger float than I love. I love the stocks that are going to be 25 million share float or less. If it's a stock with over 25 million share float, I consider that to be a minor red flag. And again, if I'm taking a trade off of this scanner here, then what I'm doing is I'm mitigating risk by taking a smaller size and adjusting my stop level. To the right of that, we've got the gap list. This is going to be stocks that are gapping up today. MLGO up 194% from open. That is our gap leader. That is very important to me to see those gap leaders, to see which is gapping up, because again, a bullish momentum trader, I want to trade on the long side of a lot of these stocks here. Then below that, we've got the total volume leaders. This is going to be exactly that, looking for that total volume. MLGO, go figure, is on this list. 492 million shares traded on MLGO. Very impressive. So a lot of volume, a lot of liquidity for me to be able to get in and out, both long and short, very quickly. And that volume is telling me that right there, 492 million shares on that. So that is a total volume leaders watch list there. Then we have a continuation watch, very important. MLGO hit this continuation watch at 411. That is another scanner built with specific filters that we've been compiling together for a long time now, that is basically looking for stocks that have that greater potential for that squeeze momentum, where that starts to squeeze those short sellers out of their position and squeeze into newer highs very quickly. And that is something that we love as bullish momentum traders, because that allows us to get in and out of our trades quickly and then hold a lot of for continuation in case we feel that's going to occur. SINT was on that list as well. These both hit new highs soon after these alerts hit. Just because a stock alerts on any one of these scanners does not mean I'm trading it. It just means that there's value there. Then I pull up the chart. I then mitigate the risk and see, hey, is this going to fit my strategy or not? Looking at MLGO right now, sure, maybe it's giving us a nice short entry here. It's fading back off, giving us some short opportunities. Is it bullish? Not at this time. So if I do start to get alerts on this, I'm just getting prepared to take this trade if we get over resistance, which is already plotted for us with this indicator. Back to the scans, we've got the Momentum Hunter down here. You can see Momentum Hunter is looking for momentum. Go figure, right? MLGO is all over this list. The reason for it is because, of course, MLGO has a lot of momentum today. Find it first, market scan. This is going to look for stocks that really haven't gotten a lot of juice yet. We're looking for possible volume. We're looking for a possible breakout, or maybe there's something going on there. Maybe there's some relative volume coming into it, but there isn't a lot of volume yet. So we want to find it first. Again, for what reason? So we can prepare before the volume actually arrives. So if there's volume that comes into it, we don't have to be trailing behind the market. We're already prepared and ready to attack. So a lot of times we're waiting for our setup to occur, and while we're waiting, we can be getting prepared. The major red flag spotter is going to be looking for major red flags. So this is going to be filters built in that are looking for basically signs of possible reversal to the downside. So if we see those red flags, something we want to be aware of and possibly be careful of, as that can get us into trouble, of course. Looking over here, we have the high short interest squeeze watch as well, this scanner here. This one's going to let us know of stocks that have a higher short float percentage, which may be potential for a squeeze type of play. And if we scroll down, guess what? MLGO is right there, 18% short float percentage at 386. It was alerted, hit a high of 1171. That was a really nice alert there. Volume watch down below. We have the volume watch. You can see that is going to be our volume watch right now. We don't have anything on that volume watch, but this is looking for volume at this current time. That is bullish volume. So not just looking for any volume, it's looking for bullish volume. So sometimes if you don't see anything on there like right now, that means there is nothing to be watching for bullish volume, right? So instead, what we can do is be preparing for just in case we do start to get volume and see something that's going to be worth watching. I do have the halt and resume scanner down here in the right and bottom right hand corner, which is going to let me know of stocks that have halted, and then the time that they halted as well. If you tack on 5 minutes to that, you'll see when they are going to resume. That way you can be ahead of that and aware of that as well. So that'll let me know whenever a stock is halted and when it resumes as well. Down below, I have the just a little quick heads up for what news is trending right now, what's going on in the market, what's affecting the market today, what's affecting the market maybe tomorrow or the next week, right? So just a breakdown of the news and some trendy tickers at the end of that as well. We always like to add trendy tickers that are moving in the markets today, yesterday, and possibly next week. So that's pretty much it, guys. The meat and potatoes. Each one of these scanners are built with specific filters to find the trades that I'm looking for. Just because something is alerting on the scanner doesn't mean that I'm taking the trade. I just want to make that very clear. I just want to use these as a tool to identify the value. I then switch over to the chart and start to break down whether or not it fits my strategy. If it does, great. Maybe I'm trading long, maybe I'm trading short. Either way, I want to make sure that risk mitigation is number one, as this is trading low float and high volume type of stocks. I mean, some of these candles have over 1 million shares easy, so want to be careful not to get into trouble over trading or oversizing on the type of trades that can get me into trouble. So just trading what's in front of us, guys, trading the price action in front of us, using the scanners to identify where the value is in the market. Trade Ideas is what I use. Each one of these scanners is going to also have voice alerts, so it's going to yell out the ticker to me, so I don't have to be watching the screen. I can be watching the chart, watching my brokerage information, watching maybe Discord or chat, and seeing what trade ideas our team's throwing in there, or I can be watching something else, but then start to hear those alerts through each one of these scanners, which is going to help identify the value. Now, for me, the high priority alerts I've got set with a female voice. You have two options with Trade Ideas. I went with the female voice for our high priority type of alerts, and I went with the male voice for some of our lower priority type of alerts. So for me, I'm listening for a female voice to be yelling at me and telling me, hey, you know, MLGO is moving. You might want to take a look at this one to possibly trade. And as you can see, our scanners are not alerting just over and over. Instead, what they're doing is they're very selective in what they're alerting on. Right now, we're getting alerts on Riley, R-I-L-Y. And if I pull the chart over, you'll see exactly why. So if I pull the chart over, you'll see this is why we're getting alerts on Riley, because this is just gapping up like crazy. You can see that it's moved, let's see, about 32% in this move here, just minute candles. So getting a pop here was on our halt scanner and is now moving. You can see it was on our halt scanner earlier, Riley, 302, halted. And you can see it was also on our low float momentum scanner here, getting a pop, Riley, right? So Riley down here, 374, Riley up here, now hitting over $4. So quick move there in Riley for anyone who's watching that one. But again, scanners are just doing one part of it, guys. It's identifying where the value is in the market. It's then up to us to mitigate the risk by trading our strategy and sticking to it, right? Not veering off that path, and discipline is going to come into factor and come into play for consistency. So guys, Trade Ideas scanners, link in the description below if you want to get a discount and get these scanners for yourself. They have AI trading as well, and it will help you identify where the value is. Really cool technology. And for me, this is an invaluable tool. I have to have scanners to identify where the value is in the market. As I'm a low float momentum day trader, I'm looking to get in and out very quickly. And sometimes I don't even have time to really read, like maybe there's news or there's this or that. I don't really trade like that, guys. I'm more of a technical breakout trader. I need the volume. I need the price action. So Trade Ideas is perfect for me. It identifies the value and the volume in the market, and then I switch over and use our indicators that are going to be found at bullishboblive.com. You guys can get access to this as well, and I'm going to use those indicators to then help identify where the value is in the market and how to mitigate risk. So, of course, it's a combination, right? It all comes together. But, guys, if you have any questions, reach out, bullishboblive.com, and I'll see you in the Discord. I am live trading Monday through Friday starting at 7 a.m. Eastern Time every day. So if you want to join in, you want to learn more, you want to grow with us as a community, come on over, and I'll see you in there. All right, guys, thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.
New to the channel? Like and subscribe for more educational content. Join our community at bullishboblive.com and get full access to our indicator toolkit today.